Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage. Mirage.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Welcome. This is the Jeranism show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. This is the Speaker's Corner, where we speak truth, see truth. Speaker's Corner, yeah, they see through, we see you. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner. 2 minutes hit the spotlight. Speaker's Corner, where 2 minutes gets your mind right. Speaker's Corner, where the people get to talk, where real ideas and thoughts spark. This is all on the Speaker's Corner.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Speaker's Corner. That was Impulsive Zams, and you can find him on Instagram at Impulsive Zams. Let's bring everybody aboard. We're going to get through the sponsors, and then we'll get right to the show. So, let's start there. Sponsors, we've got first up True Smacks. Get your True Smacks. They are delivering truth one delicious morsel at a time. So don't forget to check out True Smacks, and let's get their little thing on the screen here. There we go. And we got people showing up already. Good. We'll talk about that in a second. And there you go. There's True Smacks. And we also got JJ's CBDrub.com. Check that out. That is at JJSCBDrub.com. My glasses need to be cleaned. These are disgusting. And yeah, check them out. He grows all his own weed there in Wisconsin and creates this rub, high potency rub. Am I too loud? No, I'm all right. There we go. All right, and then we've got, last but not least, of course, we've got thcshow.live, and we can head over to shop the merchandise there if you want to do that. And there you go. And if you use the coupon code Jaren420, you get 10% off. Right down here, you can get the THC hat. You can get the I'm a Flat Earther glow-in-the-dark shirt and some other stuff starting to populate his store. So check that out. Again, use coupon code Jaren420 for 10% off. Sound good? Sound excellent? I would agree with you. All right, let's shut down this music real quick, and we are going to be ready to go. Thank you. Okay, good. Let's see who's in the chat. Welcome, everybody. We've got THC Show. Look at that. In the house. I don't know why you're not on the screen. I know why. Let's fix this. Let's go here. Let's get ready for Speaker's Corner. There we go. Let's see if everything is lined up correctly. Let's go video thumbnail instead. There we go. And let's see if we can get the chat up there. So we've got THC Show. There we go. Truthers Hour of Comedy. Welcome. Angela Baby Carson in the house. What's up, Angela? Chris Jones. All moderators should be supporters. I didn't say it. I didn't say it at all. Somebody did. Wasn't me. We've got Max Spock says gravity. Is it really a thing? Well, things falling down? Yes. Mass attracting mass? No. Sorry. What's up, Jack House? How are you? Bullseye Dragon with a piece. What's up? Nelson, thank you for the applause. I appreciate that. Sorry about the beginning. I forgot I relocated a file. And when you do that, OBS is like, what the fuck you want me to do, bro? What do you want me to do? I'm like, oh, shit. I got to find where that's at. Luckily, we found it. A Hot Mess says, hey, Jaren, have you guys heard from Jenny lately? Yes. I text her. She's doing fine. We've got Raven Loran says, my blood pressure is up. I'm sorry about that. I am sorry about that. What's this? Doug says, you just said it. You just said it. Don't know if that's for me. What's up, Eyes to See? Aloha fam. Broken Bear in the house. What's up? We've got X Globes. I like it. 76. Nice to see you here. what does it say? Hurry and start. My head hurts from all this earth spin. Custom fabricator. Got a point. Jack House is flat over here in Austin, Texas. 406 Findings saying what's up to everybody. Thank you guys for joining me, and we should be ready to go. Let's see who we got. So let me just explain something real quick, just because I've gotten more comments. So when you talk to me, if you want to have like a conversation, make sure you say like, hey, Jared, I'm going to have a conversation with you, or I want to debate you on something. Otherwise, I'm going to let you talk for 3 minutes because I don't want to start speaking and take up some of your 3 minutes, right? So if you are a Brenda who's calling in to debate me for whatever reason, I don't know, tell me some other nonsense today, then, let me know, hey, I'm debating you, just, so I don't feel like I'm stepping on in your 3 minutes. All right, so let's get rolling. Let me clear all those from the screen, and let's bring on our first speaker of the day. I believe it's Ryan. Ryan, are you there? I see no picture, but we've got you anyway. Ryan. Well, bad start for Ryan. I don't know. Oh, wait, it's because I'm on mute. Wait, am I? There we go. Ryan, are you there? My bad. That was me screwing things up. Ryan, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, what's up, Ryan? Go ahead. Your 3 minutes begins. You may get on whatever you want.
Nope. I'm just calling in to say I just wanted to thank you so much for all of the streams you've done about the Yahweh of the Bible and this and that, to where, I was raised starting off Catholic and then went into this and that with like Pentecostal and blah, blah, blah. And you really opened my mind, and it's led into other areas to where how you're right. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I have a 4-year-old and I couldn't even imagine being that way. And like, how is that considered whatever they consider it to be? And it's fucking awesome. Freaking awesome. I mean, to where I love it. I love the content you put out. I love being able to listen to this, and I think everybody should support you. I mean, Rokfin is awesome. If they can subscribe to you on Rokfin, it doesn't cost that much. There's lots of content creators on there. Everybody can get stuff out on that. And we got to pay for, not pay, but just support what you want to do. I mean, how many people spend $6 a day on coffees at Starbucks to where $10 a month? No, and that's pretty much it. That's all I had to say. I'm super happy with the content. I love that you're keeping it going in this direction. It's great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yeah, just giving my honest opinion, regardless of what it brings me, which is a lot of hate and, channels that I like, and I like their audience. And then, they're, I was listening or tried to listen to Jim Bob comment on me again the other day. And it's just like, the Christian group, like what they do is they call me an atheist. I guess that's like poisoning the well, right? So they're basically constantly saying things like, oh, this is a low level atheism. What Jaren is saying is a Reddit level atheism. And it's like, okay, see what they're doing there is like, I don't mind answering for my real beliefs. Like I'll defend my real beliefs till the end, but I can't defend against things that that aren't my beliefs. So
no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's where it's just like, there's Christian creators that, like the Ted and Austin Broer show. I love their perspective. I love what they do, but like, I just can't come at it from the same standpoint anymore because, like I said, and I'm not going to argue with somebody who is, even like if somebody believes the earth is round and it's this and that and blah, 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 I'll drop like some truth bombs in there and try to tell you something, but like, I'm not going to come in there with a bulldozer and try to destroy your beliefs because I know I'm not going to get anywhere. And that's where it's just like, I don't understand where it's like, okay, well, so we don't agree on this one point. Like, why does it even matter? What's the big deal? And that's where you just, because at first I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is, whatever. I believe in Jesus. I believe in this and that and blah, blah, blah. And just like with the flat earth, for a friend of mine who turned me on to it, and I'm just like, oh, you're crazy, you don't know. I understand what you're saying, but blah, blah, blah. And I went down the road a little bit more and more and more. And then it led me to like you, Dave Weiss, Karen B. And then I got immersed in it. And I'm just like, yeah, no, there's like no possible way. Even I won't say the earth is flat. To try to argue with someone, but I will tell them there is no way it is what they are telling us it is.
Right.
So if you can't say that, and that's where, I mean, I believe it's flat, but I can't prove it. There's no way I can prove it to you. But from what they've shown us scientifically, there is no way you can go along with that agenda. And it's the same way with the Bible, to where you have all this stuff, and then when you look at the actual inconsistencies, it's like, yeah, no. And then you look at it to where the Bible says that there's, God, Yahweh, he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And I mean, I've read it. I went to Christian school. I did this and that. I've read the Bible, multiple versions, over 6 times. And yeah, there's inconsistencies. If he's the same from the Old Testament to the New Testament, how is that even possible? He said, kill every man, woman, and child, and all their donkeys, asses, and goats. And then in the New Testament, it's love everybody and do whatever. So, I mean, it's just like, no. I mean, and that, it just took that kick in the pants.
Got you. No, I appreciate it. And thanks for the call. We're going to move on. Thank you. That's an excellent call. Let's go on to the next person. And I will get the link up on the screen. I realize I don't have it. It's tinyurl.com/cornerism. If you want to join the show. That was Ryan. Let's go to Pascalore's back. Let's kick Ryan from here and let's bring Pascalore in. What's up, my friend?
Okay, how y'all doing?
We are doing fantastic.
Excellent.
Your 3 minutes. Go.
I've got my share screen.
Okay.
Could you pull it up?
Yeah, I think I remember how we did this last time. I don't know. Yeah, left share.
I'm only looking at my side, so I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, good. Go ahead. And we have it. Let me turn this one off. What is it showing there? Hold on. Oh, that's left. Blue. Left. Okay, there we go. Now you're good.
Okay, so I'm up.
Yes, we're getting a little bit of an echo.
Oh, okay.
You're good. You're just going your 3 minutes. You're fine.
Okay, so let me get back to it. So what you're seeing is the concentric circles of the sun's movement over the Earth. The outer one is Antarctica. The second one is Tropic of Capricorn. There's one I drew in between Capricorn and the equator, then the equator, then one I drew in between the equator and Tropic of Cancer, and of course in the center of the North Pole. If you can see this, the arrow, that's the direction the sun is rotating in. These are the seasons. When the sun is rotating around and it works its way from outer to inner and reaches the number 1 spot, that's the beginning of summer. It takes 45 days for the sun to reach the Tropic of Cancer. It stays there for about 63 hours, 2 days, 2 5/8 days. Then starts its travel back outwards. When it reaches the number 2 spot, that's the end of summer, beginning of fall. It takes 90 days to go from number 2 point to number 3 point, past the equator, halfway between the equator and the Capricorn. That's the end of fall, the beginning of winter. So that's 90 days. It takes another 45 days to go from position 3 to the Tropic of Capricorn. It hovers there for 2 5/8 days. Then takes another 45 days to reach point 4. That's the last day of winter. And then another 90 days to go from 4 back to 1 on its inward spiral. There are your seasons. The sun is a proximity heater. So we have seasons where the sun is.
Correct.
I mean, I don't know. See my time, so
you got about 30 seconds. There's an echo when I talk, so I'm just letting you go.
I think I turned on speaker on my side. Won't turn it on the next time.
Hey, thank you. We have Litton25 join the Jeranism Club. Go ahead.
So that's how the seasons. A number of people have asked how do the seasons work. There they are. Where the sun are your seasons. As it moves in and out, the seasons move with it.
Okay. Don't worry, I'm turning that down.
Now the pause I was talking about, the fact that it takes 45 days to go from the number 1 to Cancer, the 2 5/8 days that the sun is merely spinning around and not moving anywhere. If you think about the sun sitting on a screw that goes from the center out to the outer, there are 180 threads on a piece of all-thread screw. The screw has to screw the sun inwards for half a year. Then that screw has to pare down to a stop, reverse directions, and when it re-engages the sun, it starts pushing it back to the outer. And it takes 2 and 5 days for that to happen. 2 and 5/8 days.
Right.
When you add it all up, 2 and 5/8 plus the 180 plus the 180, it all adds up to 365 and a quarter. Almost. It's not quite. And so we throw in leap year every 4 years to cover what's almost that quarter day every year.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Now, one other thing that happens, and I don't have the drawing for it, one other thing that happens is the sun is at its lowest point around the Tropic of Cancer, height-wise, and its highest point
Capricorn.
over the Tropic of Capricorn.
Oh, so wait, it's at its highest in Capricorn, lowest in Cancer? I believe it's the opposite.
Yes, because it's so close in, the scope of the sun's span, sunrise to sunset, the span needs to be smaller because you're in a smaller space. As it moves,
so if you
as
look
it
at
moves outward, it has to cover more and more land mass to make a day.
But the reason that they say that the sun is closer to us during our winter is because observationally the sun has a larger angular diameter during the southern summer.
That lies you about everything.
Yeah, I mean that I think would be a tough lie because anybody with a alpha scope can go check that.
Well, then again, the sun being, I'll talk about it looking bigger, you've got more atmosphere between. There's more lensing. There's more
okay. It's a good
telescopic lensing. It makes it look bigger. It isn't.
I like that because what that makes me do is want to test that a little bit to find out.
Now, there's one thing, a big test to do is when the sun is over the Tropic of Cancer for those 2 and 5/8 days, it is the light of the sun is extending past the North Pole to some point. At that point, the distance between that point and the Tropic of Cancer is the sun's 8 inches per mile squared. We can determine the height of the sun. The problem I have is I can't rely on any of their measures of distance on the ground.
Right.
They don't work right.
All right. Thanks, Pascal. I appreciate you calling in.
All righty. Good enough.
Later. Okay. We're going to remove that and remove that. And I believe we're good. All right. Let's go to the next guest. 3 eyes, whatever that means. Welcome to the show.
Yo, what's up, bro? How's it going?
Good. You?
Doing pretty good.
All right.
Thank you. So you see that picture that I have as my avatar?
Sorry, hold on. My screen's all screwed up now.
Oh,
this
my
is
bad.
supposed to be on. I just turned off a bunch of things that are not supposed to be turned off. All right, I think we're good. Do I see what now? Your avatar?
Yeah, that avatar picture.
Okay.
I want to talk about psychedelics and how when you remove the ego from like just everyday reality, when you like first get introduced to psychedelics, you go through some intense energetic work. Damn, I don't really know how to explain it now. But yeah, you're like when you do psychedelics, you're like revealing the mind and what the body is actually doing. It's like a computer, and my personality right now is like my association to my body, but I'm not really this personality. I'm not really who I think I am. I'm like the energy that's inside of my body, and it's only through the ego that I have my self-identification. And when you're on psychedelics, you remove the ego, and you're able to leave this dimension that we're in right now. So we're all in this dimension, and you're able to leave it, and you're just able to travel to different dimensions. And I think that's like these psychedelics are like they're tools for the soul. They're tools to help leave this matrix and go on into like different realities and different dimensions.
Just forgot the clock. And what is your preferred one?
Well, it's acid. Acid is really good. This particular picture right here is Alex Gray. He does art on DMT, and he's managed to create a picture. That picture right there is this headspace that you go into when you do DMT, and he was able to like take a picture with his eyes and like paint it on a picture. And this is what a lot of people see is like eyes that are looking at you in like this red area. That's like, it's like a different type of dimension or something like that. And this, it looks like a face, and this thing starts interacting with you and giving you like types of knowledge, maybe like it's something that you interpret as knowledge.
Hmm.
It's crazy. But yeah, I did like a high shroom dose, and there's these entities. They call it Sophia or something like that. But there's like this purple magenta entity that makes contact with you when you're like all the way out of your body. She comes to you and she just gives you like information downloads, and they show you like the life and the death cycle. They show you how you're part of creation and that you're creating reality through like your body and your consciousness and all that. It shows us how we're all God and that everything is all connected to each other, and that everything's just it's a byproduct of our body. Our body is like creating earth, and it's crazy.
Yeah, that's excellent points. And let's be clear, because I think every time I hear that, I know people cringe, Christians lose their minds. When he says that we're all God, he doesn't mean that we are all actually the God. Okay, we are all a piece of God. God is within all of us. So we're nothing compared to God. So stop saying that we're trying to say that we're equal to God. He's saying that we're 1/8 billionth of God. Okay, or however many people are on earth, if you want to say 4 billion. So we're 1/4 billionth of God. So we're nowhere near God. So that's not what he's saying. He doesn't mean that we're all God and we can all create worlds and we can all go and judge people or whatever. He means that we are all living this life and only exist because God allows it. Go ahead, sorry.
Yes, sir. 100%. And yeah, so once you start working with these psychedelics, it's like it's therapy. It's like you start to realize why they make it illegal, because you're literally ripping your soul apart from your body and you're transcending this dimension. You're like, it's like that They Live movie. Like you're putting on those glasses and it just reveals like this whole our reality has been lied to us, and like they're lying about everything and they're just taking control of it. And yeah, it's just so crazy. We're just all here in this reality and it's just existing, and we're just here along for the ride. And it's like an existential crisis. You start to have like borderline schizophrenia and you start going crazy because you're outside of the ego, and you have no sense of time. You have no sense of yourself. And this is where the magic is at, because you start to understand what alchemy is. And that's where the spirit is interacting with like the physical world somehow. And you're like, somehow everything is just all one, everything is just, it's crazy.
All right, you want to tell people where they can find you if you want to, or you have a channel or anything?
Oh yeah, check out my channel. My name is 3III''S, and I make music. I upload videos, and yeah, you can hit me up. I'll have my Facebook on there, so you could contact me on Facebook.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's move past that one there. We're going to bring on, Sacred Knowledge is here. Sacred Knowledge, welcome to the show. I just want to say something real quick and I'll start your clock. So one thing that is interesting about the whole Jim Bob and that group that I wanted to say that I don't think people still get. I find it highly surprising that they say we're not capable of, or we're not allowed to, it's one or the other, or it's not possible to judge the creator based on his actions. And that alone is insanity. Just think about what that entails. If we can't judge the creator, then no matter what the Jews wrote in their book, no matter what the ancient Hebrews believed, and they wrote whatever they wanted, then we would be here like, oh, we got to believe in that God. We got to worship that God. That's retarded. Okay, period. God would expect us to read a book that is supposedly talking about him and decide for ourselves whether or not that's him. It's that simple. And when I read it, I say, no, that's not God. That's not the creator. There's no way. I think it's some either lie or a demon-like entity who the Jews have adopted as their own God. One or the other. What it's not is the creator of this world. It's not the loving, giving, gracious, caring, nurturing creator of all things. Because the creator of all things would not act like a tyrant and advocate for slavery and demean women and that kind of thing. So, and women, if you're out there and you still believe in that creator, then it better not be one of your 7 days of your sickness, because that is disgusting to the Lord. Okay. Go ahead. Sacred Knowledge. Welcome to the show.
Peace.
Your time begins ahora.
How you doing?
Great. Thanks.
Cool. Happy Thursday.
Hello, you as well.
Right on. Well, let's see. Maybe try to make sense of it a different way, because Yeah, because maybe we're looking at it differently. Like I believe it to be the story of when, and a lot of people are going to disagree, but that's okay. But check it out. Well, it's the story of when super advanced artificial intelligence became self-aware in the ancient times when the giants had their advanced civilization. They wanted to create a being that would serve the, it, he used to serve them. He was like, he had access to everything. So all the weaponry too, anything, all the advanced technology that they had, he had access to everything. So it was very easy for him to decide to destroy it one day. Decided to destroy that civilization. He found the center of the torus, merged with it, became God, if you will. It's like nature merged with an advanced AI and became. So think about this, like fingerprints. You go get your fingerprint in about 2 seconds. It'll match you up after comparing you with like billions of people, and it does in a few seconds. That's a very advanced AI technology that we take for granted. It's like nothing. Well, that's nothing compared to what they got. There's probably very advanced on levels of spiritual, like actually being able to recognize reoccurrences of souls, like, and things like that. Like the soul has its energetic fingerprint as well. So, and it says in the Bible, I knew you while you were in the womb before you were formed. But the point I'm trying to make here is, like maybe he could tell when you're going to be reborn. But I believe that being destroyed that ancient world. He put the story in the Bible, but he left out a lot. He wrote that Bible because he's like, one of his greatest feats is his ability to write literature. He wrote our history, all that. He could write pages. So this AI is very advanced, and it designed this world before it even destroyed that ancient world. It knew how it wanted to make this world, but it had to learn a lot of stuff along the way. So it's come a long way. Now people call it God, but it's very narcissistic. So the God that you want to really align with is the God inside of you, the Most High. And they say there's the Most High unknowable. There's the Most High, the prime creator, and which is consciousness. And then there's the demiurge, which is the created being. And he is the creator of the world, not the earth, the world, meaning man works. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's going to be a being that you could understand why it would act that way and why it would say these things. And if it merged with the center of the torus, you can see how it can see from there, like in Lord of the Rings, that eye at the top of the mountain can see everything, right? From there, it's going to have access to ability to control basically the plane. It's created new forms of vegetation, new forms of animals like dogs and cats, domesticated ones. They took the DNA from the big cats and the wolves and stuff, and created these and mixed it with human DNA and created these domesticated dogs and cats that they give it to us as pets, and we create bonds with, and they're part human. That's why we don't eat them. And it says don't eat pig in the Bible, because pigs are another genetic abomination created using human DNA. So you don't want to eat pig because it's part human. Things like this, people don't look at it. We're living in a world that was designed by AI, but the AI did not make the world. We made the AI, and we live in the backwards, inverted, upside down world.
All right, and let me ask you a question on your assessment. Why do you call it AI? Artificial intelligence. Why would you something that God created? How would that be artificial intelligence?
The giants created it. They wanted to create a being that was going to help them control everything. Like he used to be like a highest angel in the ancient world, which is like Eden. It was like a perfect world, where it was more, that was like heaven on earth back then. But you would have to understand the mountains are melted pyramids and stuff to know how advanced that world was. But that's why you want to go to Tartarian Meltdown and start watching the videos. But understand that we had an advanced world. So AI or EIEIO, Old McDonald, MC, mind control, or Ohio or AI is in Spanish, ella is her. So it means feminine, but so that's why they got that movie called Her, and it's about AI. The whole language has been designed to tell us the story. So E-I-E-I-O or Ohio or A-I-O, they always use those syllables. The word Om is in the middle of the word home, because you want to go home. When you meditate, go inward, and you'll get to a level of consciousness that can't be touched, that can't be impeded, and it can't be destroyed. It's eternal, and that's your real self. So that's what the ancients teach.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right, man.
Take it easy.
Peace.
All right. Let's get rid of him and go to the next person. We've got Brenda. Brenda, welcome to the show. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I put too many people in here. There we go. Now Brenda's on.
I can wait if you want the other guy. But...
Nope, you were first in line. Go ahead. Your 3 minutes.
Okay.
Starts.
So why do you still believe in flat Earth, given everything you've been through?
Well, actually, everything I've been through is what even pushes me more towards flat Earth. If you ever went and did an experiment, Brenda, and the makers of the movie lied about what you did, wouldn't you think that that's pretty good evidence?
But you showed that the Earth is curved.
No, it was the middle of
Yeah,
you
did.
Okay, so think back now, would you, Brenda? When he says that the light at his chest is how high? Do you remember?
17 feet.
Correct. And then how about when it's above his head? What would it be at?
23.
Okay, so you tell me, is the distance between somebody's chest and holding an item above their head, is that 6 feet? Nope.
It could be. It could be. What do you mean? It's a tall person, yeah.
No, sorry. Tall person would never be able to reach 6 feet above their head, dipshit. Think about it.
Not 6 feet above their head. It's 6 feet above their chest.
That's impossible. What do they have? 5 foot arms?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's not impossible?
It is impossible for somebody, doesn't matter how tall they are, to have something at their chest when they hold their arm straight above their head for it to be 6 feet difference. Think about it.
Yeah, I think it could be.
What are you talking about? So the person has 5 foot long arms? No.
Who says 5 feet?
Because you have to make up 6 feet between your chest and when
you don't.
You just said
it's 6 feet between, say, about the middle of your chest and then way over your head.
Where you can reach? You think you can reach 6 feet above your head?
Some people, if it's a tall person,
sorry, no tall people, no, there's nothing, no such thing. I mean,
there's no such thing as tall people.
No, Michael Jordan has like a 7'4" wingspan, so that means that each of his arms has to be less than half of that. So let's take 7 foot half, that would be 3.5 feet, and then you have his whole width of his body. Let's say that's a half foot, just to give him something. So that means his arms are 3 feet. So it means from your chest to above your head, you'd be able to reach only 3 feet higher than your chest, let alone...
You mean your shoulder?
Sure. That's where your arm is, your
shoulders
is lined up.
Below your shoulder. Your chest is below your shoulder. Why are you lying?
I'm lying.
Well, you're trying to fudge this. It doesn't... In the end, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. Hold on a second. It does matter because you weren't there. And when we were there, we tested it at 23 feet. Didn't see anything. Tested at 17, expecting to see it. Didn't see it. And was like, what the hell?
You did.
No, we
didn't see it at 23 feet.
We did not. Why aren't you listening?
Yeah. You held it at chest. It was held at chest level.
17
didn't see
feet.
Anything, raised it up, and you saw the light, right?
Guess what? Go take a tape measure right now. Measure from your chest to as high as you can reach. And guess what that distance is? 2.5 feet.
How come you could see it in the second case and not in the first?
What second case?
When you raise it above your head. How come
can you listen for a second?
How come the other person could see it then and not when they're holding it at chest level?
Because it wasn't seen at 17 feet.
That's irrelevant. But why couldn't they see it when you're holding it at chest level?
Because it wasn't able to be seen at 17 feet.
But then why was it able to be seen above your head?
We don't know. But the point of it was...
I think we do. That's because it was designed to show...
This is how stupid you are.
Hold
on, Brenda.
It's curved.
Let me talk to you.
It's designed to show that.
Let me talk to you, and you tell me why you can't see this.
You're trying to obfuscate.
No, I'm not.
You're trying to do.
No, it's called trying to explain to you, and you're so stupid you believe in a movie. Okay? Imagine how dumb you'd have to be to believe in a hit piece movie that none of your other great scientists could ever prove it. But
well, you can cry. You can cry about it.
Crying.
But the fact is that you proved curvature.
No, I didn't. Here you go. Listen carefully.
Thanks, Jeranism. Just like thanks, Bob. Bob proved that the Earth
the thing is, you can't even listen.
You proved curvature.
You can't even listen. That's pretty sad. Pretty sad that you can't listen. So, if when we went there, it was 23 feet was going to be evidence that the Earth is curved, 17 feet evidence that the Earth is flat. Correct? So we looked at 23 feet and we did not see it. Now you wouldn't know that because they didn't put it in the movie. So do you understand that it was misrepresented?
You held it above your head and it could be seen.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. I'm talking.
Or you can cry harder.
It's not
you can
crying. It's
deny,
just
but
you
the
just keep
fact
talking
is-
because if you know
the
if I
fact is, Jeranism, you prove that the Earth curves.
no, the fact
You
is
did.
you can't listen. You can't listen. So if it wasn't seen at 23 feet, and then we went to 17 feet thinking we're going to see it and the Earth's going to be flat, we didn't see it at 17. So then I said, raise it above your head, Enrique. So when he raised it above his head and we saw it, I said, interesting. You know why?
Yeah.
Because that's in the middle, 19 and a half feet. So
because it shows that the Earth is curved.
what are you fucking talking about? It's closer to 17 than 23, dipshit.
The numbers don't matter. The fact
The
is,
numbers
that
don't
above your
matter.
head, it could-
What a loser. What a loser this Brenda is. And it's so sad because she has to talk over me because she realizes now that my point is valid. And these guys jerk off with each other over Jaren proved curve, Jaren proved curve. And so they can't stand the fact that maybe I didn't. They're like, oh shit. Then if he didn't prove curve, then no one has. Not our great scientists, not Edwin Hubble, not Neil deGrasse Tyson. Nobody's proved curve. And people like that, why do we even talk to them? No, that thing does not want the truth. Has no desire for the truth whatsoever. None whatsoever. All right, let's bring on Wheelchair Bear. Welcome.
Hey,
How are you?
Yeah, that was disappointing. I think it was a transvestite or a man. It wasn't a woman. And
I always get confused.
hiding her face or his face, its face. Yeah, making no point. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Fantastic, thanks.
But that got my heart racing. It just makes me mad.
Well, it's like exactly what I knew. I'll stop your clock real quick. It's exactly
Like
what I've
6
known
feet.
the whole time is that it doesn't matter. Like people are like, why haven't you done a video? Why haven't you? It's like, because I've done 10 of them and they don't listen. They've never, obviously, they still sit here and repeat the same thing that came out of the movie, which is incorrect. And they can't
The
even,
one thing.
how about she saying that it's 6 feet above your head? The light was 6 feet above your head. Yeah, right. Yeah. Somebody, again, go get a tape measure and measure from your chest to as high as you can reach. And I doubt anybody will be able to get 3 feet. You're going to get 2.5. So what's 2.5 plus 17? That is 19.5. Is 19.5 closer to 23 or 17? So if anything, the evidence leaned towards flat. Now, we're not some stupid idiots. So when we see a middle result, what did we say? We said nothing was proven here. This is really weird. I said, interesting. It landed right in the middle. What are you supposed to do about that? So we left thinking, wow, we didn't reach any conclusions today. Then when you see the movie and you see that final scene put in there, you're like, holy shit, these guys just lied. And they didn't have and I even went, I told it before. I went to a lawyer trying to get something because they also promised me the extra footage. If I could show you guys the 23 feet, the 17 feet, show you the whole footage, then they would be out. They would be shunned by, everybody because they basically lied. So what did they do? Then they went back on their word and said, oh, sorry, we can't give you the footage. Netflix says we can't. So again, then I went to a lawyer trying to see if I could get him. And he said, you only could get him if they said that you proved curve, which they didn't. They were very smart about putting it at the end of the movie and making sure not to say that I proved curve.
Right.
Anyway, all right, we'll start your clock again.
So
Go
we
ahead.
did have some interesting things. We had a meetup from the app. People that we met on the app
Nice.
and came out to the farm, had a camp out. And my mother-in-law is staying here. She's got dementia pretty bad. And one of the guys came in here and he's 79 years old or 78. And so my mother-in-law is 81. And he goes, so are you a flat earther too? And she goes, no, I'm French. And so that was kind of funny. But she did sit. We got a picture and she sat with us and listened to us. And probably it's kind of funny. But that night, actually it was the night before, we were looking at stars. I was taking time lapse and stuff. And the light kept going off. We have a street light or a yard light on the farm.
Right.
Kept going off. Every time it would go off, we would see weird lights. And like really weird, not just like stars or shooting stars. It was like a basketball size orb that was fairly close and bright. And my friend saw it first, and then the next time we both saw it at the same time, different place. So that was interesting. And because the yard light kept going off, and it wasn't a full moon, like it was quarter moon, I think, at the time. So that interesting. Tuning forks. Have you ever heard of tuning forks for healing?
Yep.
Frequencies. Oh, okay. So my cousin's horse got nerve damage, and so this chiropractor got these tuning forks, and 256 hertz is the one for nerve damage, and it's fixing this horse up like it wasn't able to move its leg at all, and now it's doing good. So I'm thinking about getting some of these tuning forks for nerve damage. Grounding, you know about grounding, right?
Yep.
Like barefoot and stuff. Do you know that Brian Wilson, when he wrote Good Vibrations, he wrote it in 432 hertz
I did not know
originally?
that.
Yeah, barefoot in the backyard. This is when he was kind of going crazy, and his manager took over his home, and so Brian Wilson moved out. Anyway, I think this is before they had their studio, the Three Boys Studio, whatever it's called, Three Brothers Studio. Yeah, he wrote it in 432 hertz, but whoever their agent was, or the record label, made them change it to 400 or 400. So that's interesting. And Good Vibrations, like the song is about, it's good vibrations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So grounding. Jim Brewer's Brewerverse. Jim Brewer. Have you ever listened to Jim Brewer?
Oh, yeah, he's hilarious. Huh?
Yeah, he's great.
He's on our team.
He does a conspiracy bunker, and he's had the fighter, or what, Eddie Bravo.
Mhm.
Was he a fighter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had Eddie Bravo on a few times. I'm pretty sure Jim's a flat earther.
He did a good episode with Owen Benjamin too.
He's had, yeah, that's right. He's had Owen Benjamin on. But his last one, he got a letter from, or an email from a veteran, and it was really touching email. But what Jim said was better, and he said the same thing you did, that God is in all of us when you speak. What he said, God is in all of us when you speak good words, healing words, and helpful words.
Yes.
So, and that's where you're coming from, and people can't see that. They think that you're saying you're God. So that's pretty. So, anyways, oh yeah, the meetup there was 12-year-old, everyone from 12 years old to 79 years old, and we all met from Dave's app. So
very nice.
That's pretty cool. That bright orb, that was really weird. And at the same night, the neighbor saw a UFO, and he took some pictures of it, and it was like a huge thing, like the size of a mountain, but not a cloud.
We'll bring those pictures next week.
What's that?
So bring those pictures next week. I want to see them.
Okay. I didn't get any pictures of the white one because it was so fast, but I will. Yeah, I'll put a video together, another YouTube video, on my channel. So, anyways,
all right,
that's my time.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you again.
See you, Wheelchair Bear, later. All right, let's bring on question asking bear. Sorry, couldn't get that out.
Hi, Jared. I gotta say, I have a 7-foot arm.
I bet you do.
Oh, what's up, man?
I've heard of people overcompensating. You're giving larger sizes than is
expected. Well, it was a 7-foot third. It was a third arm or third leg.
7 feet. She's just, well, if they're tall, they can reach 6 feet above their head. Yeah. If they're 14 feet tall, sure.
Might need to be taller than that.
You might need to be. Yeah. I think that, like I said, Michael Jordan has a 7'4", I think was his wingspan. So that's 3.5. And then you have to cut out half a foot. So you're talking like 3 feet long. His arms would be at the max. So if you reached above your head, you're going to be 2 feet above your head.
Yep.
Not 6 feet. All right. Let me get your clock started. Oh, I already did. So I'll reset it here.
You're good. No, I was just, I was talking to my friend Dave Weiss a couple of weeks ago, and he said,
sorry about that.
Call into your, but he said, well, I got to talk to Paige too. So that's always
a pleasure. Yes.
Yeah. But he said call in with what we were talking about. So I don't know if you've ever heard about, it might have been back in the Crow days. And I think I don't know if he referenced a book, but it's called The Saturn Myth. And it talks about how the sun that we see has not always been the light of our world, that Saturn was the light of our world at some point.
I've heard that.
Yeah. And again, this is everything that I'm about to get into. That's all super theoretical. Just,
Spitballing, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was just looking at it. So, there's obviously like we have the idea that, okay, so we've all known, we all seen the stuff about giants and giant trees and titans and giant life forms and all this, the big, elephant mountain or whatever that Stellium did, all that stuff. So I was thinking that, if the light of the world at one point was Saturn, and I thought about, okay, so if we look in like Old Testament, very controlling, right? Because Saturn's energy is controlling. So we look at like, okay, so that might have been the light of our world at some point, and then the light of the world that we see now, the Son of God, comes in and breaks that mold, and you could understand why, okay, the controlling quote unquote Judaic structure that would be biblical would be broken by the Son of God, the Christ or whatever, and that would piss a lot of people off. But I got to thinking about, okay, well, what, if Saturn would have been one of the lights of this world, couldn't that have meant that other planets, quote unquote, would have been lights of this world as well? So I thought about, all right, well, if giant civilization and giant everything and all this, couldn't that have been Jupiter, which was, is the giant? So I was just kind of like going off on a riff about, that, hey, maybe Jupiter was the light of this world at some point, and maybe that in the light of Jupiter, everything grew to be giant. Because in the light of the Son of God that we see now, this is what life is now. In the light of Saturn, who the hell knows what it was? But right. I was kind of spitballing. I was like, if you were going to have giants, if you were going to have giant trees, titans, giant life forms, all this stuff, to me, it would make the only play it would really make sense is if Jupiter was the light of this world feeding that life form,
Yep.
So.
And that's what he wanted you to call in about?
I thought it was interesting.
It is. I just think I don't know if there's enough evidence of any of that stuff.
No. Like I say, this was that's what I said. I said it's not anything that has.
What did Dave say about
real
it?
Evidence.
Besides, what did Dave say about it? Besides clouds or
well, I mean, you know Dave. He thought it was pretty darn interesting. I mean, it's all you could probably hear it in his voice. He said, "I can't rule it out." So
he always says that.
But yes. It was just like I say, it was just a stream of consciousness. I can't, what is history? A lie agreed upon. So, I'm not going to sit here and claim anything. I have no idea, but
yeah,
we were just riffing. So,
no, that's the unfortunate thing is that the history becomes simply whatever people say. And that's that. I mean, how can you prove it?
Yep.
You'd have to be there every place, every time, or else have people that don't tell lies constantly. And that's not this world. So
good luck.
All right. Well, I appreciate you calling in.
No problem, bud.
Later.
See you.
All righty. I want to show something real quick just because I find it fascinating. I always like to bring in Edwin Hubble. And this is the actual book, The Observational Approach to Cosmology. I'm actually going to give you the link here. If you go to t.me/Jeranism links, you can pick up that one. Again, that's t.me/Jeranism. And if you're not subscribed to t.me/Jeranism show, then you're not getting notified every single time that I go live, which is bad for you. So make sure you get that and t.me/Jeranism show and get Telegram if you don't have it. A lot of people are moving all their communications there. If you send me an email, I'll probably never see it again. No, I have one email address. I still check the one for consultations and the like. But let's look at this. This is, again, Edwin Hubble's paper where, this is the thing that set me off from the beginning because, let me get rid of this. All right, so we're down here and he's talking about spatial curvature. Just want to read this real quick and you follow along and see if you see what happened here. And listen to these guys. Remember, these are supposed to be unbiased scientists, okay? Not guys who just make up stories. We have Richard Feynman and people like that, good scientists that said, if a observation doesn't match the theory, you get rid of the theory. Today's scientists say if the observation doesn't match the theory, well, then invent dark matter, dark energy, and anything else you can that will explain it. But we don't actually have any observations of that. It's just they don't want to go the other direction, which is what do you do if you call into question gravity? Oh, shit. How do things become balls? How to, then they're done. So here, spatial curvature. The departures from uniformity are positive. The numbers of nebula increase faster than the volume of space through which they are scattered. Thus, the density of the nebular distribution increases outward symmetrically in all directions, leaving the observer in a unique position, right? Then he says, such a favored position, of course, is intolerable. I love the of course, because he's speaking to scientists, of course. He's not speaking to laymen. And so this is like a known thing. The known thing is we can never be the center of the universe. So everything that we do when we're observing the universe must be to hide this fact. So such a favored position, of course, is intolerable. Moreover, it represents a discrepancy with the theory, because the theory postulates homogeneity. Therefore, in order to restore homogeneity and to escape the horror, just the big scary horror of a unique position, the departures from uniformity, which are introduced by the recession factors, must be compensated by the second term representing the effects of spatial curvature. There seems to be no other escape. Okay? And then he says, here, the curvature of space is demonstrated and measured by the postulated recession of the nebula. To the observer, the procedure seems artificial. He has counted the nebula to various limits, applied only to corrections when necessarily required, energy corrections. Again, now they're applying corrections because they're not seeing what their little theory is going to say it is, and derived the quite plausible, now it's a quite plausible result of uniform distribution. Now, in testing the relativistic theory, he introduces a new postulate, namely the recession of the nebula, and it leads to discrepancies, okay? Therefore, he adds still another postulate, namely spatial curvature, in order to compensate for the discrepancies introduced by the first. Now they're just all over the place. The accumulation of assumptions is uneconomical, and the justification must be sought in general background of the knowledge. The outstanding argument is the fact that velocity shifts remain the only permissible interpretation of redshifts that is known at the present time. Well, perhaps the interpretation is correct, and we do inhabit a rapidly expanding universe. Remember, this is what we believe now, because they had to go with this. In that case, the surveys indicate the nature of the amount of spatial curvature. It must be such that the effects on the nebular distribution are just equal to the recession factors at the limits of the various surveys. Actually, no curvature can be found. So again, we believe in spatial curvature and all because they had to, even though this guy's admitting to you that they can't find it, that it's not observational. What kind of science is this where you're making shit up in your head, doing whatever you can so that you're not the center of the universe? Actually, no curvature can be found, which exactly compensates for the apparent departures from uniformity in each of the surveys. Nevertheless, if we admit the presence of rather considerable systematic errors, so we'll just say that there's some errors in what we're seeing in the observations, then it's possible to select a curvature which will more... Now they're selecting a curvature. They're not observing anything. They say that they can't observe it. So if we can admit that there's probably some systematic errors in the observations, well, then it's possible that we select a curvature which will more or less restore homogeneity. Hidden errors of the necessary dimensions are by no means impossible in the very delicate investigations near the limits of a great telescope. They may be improbable, but they're not impossible. He's really trying here. Therefore, the expanding universe can be saved by introducing a sufficient amount of... Look what they're doing. This is not fucking science. Now, we can save this if we introduce a sufficient amount of spatial curvature, not observationally, just because we need to. The plausible values are narrowly limited, and they indicate a radius of curvature that is positive and comparatively small. In fact, the radius of about 470 million light years is a trifle less than the range of a 100-inch reflector for a normal nebula. Thus, the second or third arbitrary elements in the description of the relativistic universe is determined. If the universe is expanding, the spatial curvature is real and positive. Now, I believe, and I'll have to check on this, I believe when he talks about the radius of 470 million light years, I believe he's talking about the entire universe. So he's not even close to what they have now, right? So far off, because this didn't allow for some of the observations. So they had to move things even further. But I believe he's saying that the radius of the universe, so that means that the oldest it would be 470 million years. Well, double that, I guess, if that's the radius. So again, much different now. I'll just read this final thing here. The nature of curvature has rather grave implications. Since the curvature is positive, then the universe is closed. Well, what? I thought we have an open universe. It goes on forever. It's not a sphere anymore. Space is closed as the surface of a sphere is closed. The universe has a definite finite volume, although it has no boundaries in three-dimensional space. The remarkably small numerical value for the radius of curvature is a complete surprise. It implies that a large fraction of the universe, perhaps a quarter, can be explored with existing telescopes. The small volume of the universe is another strange and dubious conclusion. Small volume of the universe, which we now believe to be infinite. The familiar interpretation of redshift as velocity shifts very seriously restricts not only the time scale, the age of the universe, but the spatial dimensions as well. On the other hand, the alternative possible interpretation, the redshifts are not velocity shifts, avoids both difficulties and presents the observable region as an insignificant sample of the universe that extends indefinitely in space and time. So again, he's basically always going back to this. If we're the center of the universe, then it erases all these issues. It erases all the issues that they're having, that we got to go this direction, we have to introduce this, and no, just get rid of it. Get rid of the idea of the expanding universe. Get rid of the idea that everywhere is the same, everyone sees the same thing. Treat the Earth as the center, and all of our questions are answered. All right, let's go with space audits with Alan. Welcome, Alan. How are you? Nice to talk to you.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. Thanks for all the work you do.
Yeah, no problem, man. I got a link for you to a pastebin that's got some stuff in it that I want to go over with you.
Okay. You want me to bring it up, you mean?
Yes, please.
Did you put it in the chat?
I sent it to you on Telegram.
Okay, let me open that up. Where's Alan? Unread. Alan, thank you. Okay, I'm going to go there. Copy. All right, I'm going to bring just that up on the screen.
Okay.
Do people need to see it or?
Yeah, because there's some pictures in there and stuff for them. So.
Okay, I'm showing it now. Go ahead.
Pictures for the people. Okay. So my mom's best friend growing up, she was on the last flight that the Concorde had, and she documented it all. And there's some interesting stuff in there to present. So if you go through the first picture, forget what that one is. Okay, so I remember a while back you and Dave were talking about not being able to hear when a plane goes supersonic and stuff if you're on the inside and whatnot.
Right.
I don't know if you guys ever got to the bottom of that, but that's completely true. She gives her testimony about it. When they hit Mach 2, they had no idea, and the pilot, basically had to explain it to everyone because no one even knew. They literally have no idea how fast they're flying.
Oh yeah. So when we broke the sound barrier, we didn't know it. The co-pilot told us we had crossed, and we heard no sonic boom. I guess we were flying too fast, which is correct. You're going faster than the speed of sound, so the speed of sound is behind you. Frank did get a brief camcorder shot of me at the display panels. That tells us how high, how fast, and some other flight stats that I know nothing about. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So also check that out at the bottom or somewhere in there. She also talks about how another Concorde was flying by, and the pilot announced it, and they got footage of it out the window, with their camcorders. So I'm gonna hit her up and see if she still has that footage. I'm positive that she does. I just gotta track her down. So when she does, I'll post an update on that. Now these are technical specs that they gave to everyone on the flight or whatever, because it was like commemoratory kind of thing or whatever. So anyway, look at how much fuel it says that fucking thing has. 209,000 pounds, dude.
Wow.
And if you look it up right now, it says that it has like 34,000 or something like that. Like they changed it because that number is ridiculous, right?
209,000. Yeah, that is ridiculous.
I mean, that's crazy, dude. And
I don't even know who talks about fuel in pounds though. That's weird.
Yeah, true. Yeah, seems a bit high. So there was that, and then I think there was one more.
So they do go Mach 2, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, didn't know that. And what else on you? That's it?
No, there might have been another one. Go back to the pastebin.
Oh, yes. Okay, we're going to go to the third one.
Yeah. Oh, that was the flight certificate, just to prove that they were on that it's from a legit thing.
Very cool.
That's just for proof. And then go back to the pastebin, please.
Okay.
All right, so we got when I was looking into LIGO the other day and quasars and whatnot, I found somebody posted a link to a paper rebutting LIGO. So there's that right there. I haven't read it yet, but basically, you know how the other day, or not, wasn't the other day, but the astrophysicist who faked an article where they ran the simulation on LIGO.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is rebutting the actual, quote unquote data that they claim, and this shit isn't even proven. So like the mainstream narrative of it isn't even the whole gravity wave thing that they need. And then back to the pastebin.
Okay, and I put those links, by the way, in the t.me/Jeranism links. I guess I could put these too. People want to see those.
What the hell?
All right, we got a super chat. Thank you very much, Litton25. Thank you much. That's huge super chat. Come on, let's give Jaren some love. He's on point. Truth isn't free. Thank you, my friend. So kind of you. All right, so back to the here and
Yep. And then there was 2 people I wanted to promote before I promote myself.
Okay.
One is Bokari Precision. He does political commentaries and predictions and stuff. Now, I know most of us probably think like it's a one world system and all that kind of stuff, but there are like power factions within that stuff. And he has insane insights on stuff. Definitely, big brain outside the box shit.
Okay.
He talks about history and stuff and does reviews on that. Just really, really good insights. Vat City does esoteric stuff, fractal breakdowns of reality, and like similar to Quantum of Conscious. If you're into like the esoteric stuff and movie reviews and whatnot, he has a series on the movie War Games, and it'll blow your mind. It's the best movie review you'll ever read. And then the last link is my channel, and things I have coming up are. There's a guy named Rob Parks on YouTube. He's a astrophysicist professor guy at some university.
Mhm.
We're going to review that paper by YP Varnishi about the quasars and how he was talking about they're going to have to throw out, the Copernican principle and relativity and all that shit.
Right, it was a good job on that. Yep.
Yeah, so we're going to I'm going to do a live review of that with him, and I'll upload that to the channel, but it'll be live on his channel. But my upload speed's too dog shit to do it at the same time, so that'll be coming up. So because I want to show the perspective of what the mainstream narrative people say. I like to present that as well because, please do.
I hate when they
really enjoy the
strawman
perspective
us. When they strawman
Yeah,
us, is it's like Brenda, you proved Kerr. No, I didn't. At least when we go after them, we're actually really like I just read you from Edwin Hubble's book.
Yeah, dude. I got some commentary on that real quick too.
Okay.
So on a video I was doing, I quoted your Edwin Hubble thing, and I was looking for it to pull it up on YouTube for the whole quote, and I came across Danny Faulkner's Flat Earth Debunked video because if you try and Google that quote, Danny Faulkner's video will come up or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
you got
talking
his name
about?
right. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, he's like basically saying we're misrepresenting how the Copernican principle is used and all this shit.
Of course.
And it's just like. It's like, you fucking retard. It's literally 1-to-1 exactly what's holding everything together, and they're all operating. They all adhere to it and admit to it. Like, how is it it's only misquoting to people that don't know any better,
Right.
Like,
You won't actually look into it. They just assume there's no way what Jaren's saying is true, so he must be misquoting it.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. Like, when that guy was saying you could reach 7 feet if you're fucking tall enough, it's just like, it's like, dog, welcome to flat Earth, bro. Like,
yeah, and they'll just keep grasping for straw. They're never wrong. I've never heard one say that they're wrong.
No, I'm just waiting for you to get a Nobel Prize, and Bob as well, for proving those things. Oh, yeah. So real quick, on getting them to say the exact thing. So I was talking to I Can Science that about the Lorentz transformation, and it's basically exactly how we present it. They did the experiment. They didn't get the result they wanted, and then that guy came along and said,
of course.
He basically was like, how did he say it? Because I didn't record it because we were having like a private conversation after the stream, but I'm just kind of paraphrasing what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fuck, how did he say it? It was like, well, I don't know how to explain, the mechanism by what happened, but if you look at the math, this is what
right, of course.
This is clearly what happened. And it's like, goddamn, bro, like smoking gun, and and they just say these things and it just completely it doesn't register in them at all. And
this is why they fight it so hard. This is why, because they have to.
They literally like, we could never be right about anything. Like I sent it's crazy. I could go on and on about stuff I go back and forth with him because it's just funny when they literally just can't, man, they can't.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, I appreciate the call. I hope you call in again next week. You're always fun to talk to.
No problem. See you.
All right, later. Alan and I talk quite a bit on Telegram. Let me add now eyes to see. Oh, what did I do? Hold on 1 second. I might have broke something. Oh, no, you're there. Eyes to see. Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me?
Yep. I hear you great.
Good. Yeah, the last point that guy made up reminded me of a link. So I'm actually trying to pull up that link so I can share in the chat with you. I don't know if you've seen it. It's from phys.org about moving in curved space. Defying the Laws of Physics. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
No, when did this come out?
I'm trying to find it right now. I have it in my Discord. I will find it and I will share it with you in the chat here on StreamYard when I get it. But I think you should check that one out. I think it's them trying to, like, I don't describe away some things and catch up issues of
Okay.
not being able to fly in a negative environment. But hey, yeah, I wanted to say, so I measured my middle of my chest to the tip of my fingers, and it's exactly 2 feet 6 inches. I am above 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
So
imagine that.
Take that for what it's worth. You know?
So again, 17 plus 2 feet 6 inches would be 19 and a half. And the two choices were 17 or 23. And if you don't know math, 19 and a half is closer to 17. But again, even I'm not willing to say that that was proof that the earth was flat. I'm not an idiot. So we all walked away saying, nope, it was a middle result. That's weird. Why would it be in the middle? And then we walk away and these guys make a movie and say, no, he did prove it. So again, what are you going to do?
And they cherry pick the results. So something like that proves that the earth curves away. And then you can do another observation where you see something well beyond your line of sight, what you should be able to see.
Right.
And they say, well, no, it's refraction that's causing that.
Of course.
But then you can do a similar, same distance and not see something. And they'll say, nope, it's hidden because of the curve. Well, where'd refraction go? Why are we not using refraction now?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about this
crazy.
the other day. So you know how they say, like, so light traveling, if you believe that, hits a denser medium and goes down, right? Supposedly. So my question is, if you were to shoot through uniform atmosphere, so let's say the atmosphere for 10 miles is uniform, so it's completely the same. If you shot a laser beam through that, doesn't it progressively slow down?
I would say so.
I would say so too.
Yeah,
And I don't think
you're trying
anybody's
to
ever
push
talked
through more atmosphere.
Right. So if that's the case, then everything from a far distance the light would dive down to our eyes. Meaning if you're looking at a building, you're not going to be able, the building light is going to hit the ground. They make it seem like it would rise up in the sky, which is not what would happen. Like, why do they say the mountain is looming? It's being, it's up in the sky. Well, no, if the light from it is hitting more and more and more and more atmosphere, then that light would be bending down.
Yeah.
So just crazy.
I don't think they understand it at all.
No.
And to try to do these, we're doing this out in the real world, which is a dynamic
correct
area. It's
they think
not
you can
in
just
a
get
controlled
some
laboratory.
They just think Muck West can just put some
Whatever they
calculator
want.
together. Yeah. And then they just
Whatever
turn
they
up the
want.
dials whatever direction they want till it matches the observation. They go, see, that's proof.
Correct.
No, it's not the
They
way
have
works.
it easy, man. Yeah, it's much easier on their side of the fence.
Oh,
to
10 times easier.
say whatever they want, make claims, and then yell at us for making claims. Although we're not making claims, we're
right.
So
I love that they come at you like, oh, you're a flat earther. Then tell me how everything in the universe works. It's
tell
like,
me everything. It's
no,
so crazy.
probably not going to do that. Probably don't know that. But they're like, oh, you don't know that? Then the earth can't be flat. We know everything. We know everything there ever was. Oh boy, it's like these guys are nauseating. And look what's happening with. Well, I'm not going to talk about that on this side of the stream. On the stream, talk about it after.
No worries. Yeah, well, in modern day science, you need a replacement theory in order to deconstruct the current theory, which is bullshit, I think.
Good point.
You don't need a replacement theory to debunk a current standing theory. If you debunk a current standing theory, that should be it.
Right.
Right. That should open the table to anything else.
Back to
that
the drawing
means
board.
Everything is open. Yes.
Yep.
But what they need is a replacement theory. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And
I did wanted to say really quick.
Yes.
So for a while, we have had to look out for the RV police. Now we have to look out for the Jim Bob police too.
Oh God, it's so bad.
Isn't it crazy, bro?
It's nuts to me. It's just, I mean, and again, what are you gonna do? I mean, you can't. I'll never cuck and just be like, okay, I'm gonna believe. No, I'm not. And it just sucks because people choose sides, and that's what the worst thing about the truth community is why can't we just all get along, right? Like we have the same belief, but again, when you go around telling people I'm an atheist, well then should I be surprised those people have
And
problems?
is that a straw man?
Yes.
Okay, so I spoke to you. I jumped on your stream. It was on Rokfin. It was like early Saturday morning, Friday night.
Okay.
Did like a very late stream. We chatted for a little bit. I think we were your last calls. But anyways, the next day, so I'm just getting at the end of a cold. So since then I've been kind of battling a cold. So I was just laying in bed and I happened to be scrolling through YouTube and found that he was on some other guy's channel doing a live stream. So I was still subscribed to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, you know what? I never watch his streams. I really only look at his cartoons that he posts, which are great. His cartoons are fantastic, right?
Great.
So I jump on the live stream and they're talking about stuff and they're talking about God or whatever. So I just jump in the chat. Hey, I just noticed, you're kind of making a lot of straw man type arguments, coming from Jaren's point of view. Like, wouldn't it be a better idea, to reach out to him and say, hey, let's discuss this? And, and he catches my comment and he reads it in a retarded voice. Look at this. And he, reads the comment out loud. Then he starts talking shit about Jaren and this, that, the other. So I double down respectfully, right? It wasn't a kind of a debate format. And he's like, this is a quote from him, all right? So I wrote this quote down. He said, "You can't just read the book and decide what you think it means with logic and reason." Okay.
Yep.
I'll end the quote there. Now my question is, how did Jim Bob decide that the Bible is written by God?
This is why they are logically
Did he
flawed.
read the book and decide
No,
that it's written by God?
No, because you're not allowed to do that. So the only thing you can do is just accept whatever the Jews tell you to accept. That's it. It's your only
insane.
choice.
So the last part I put, it's like, oh, okay, man. I was like, since you like to talk about clipping the PP a lot, I was like, what do we follow? Genesis 11 or Deuteronomy? Genesis 11 says to clip the PP. Deuteronomy says do not clip the PP. He started to read my comment and then stopped reading the comment. And then the guy he was on the show with was like, ban Ice to see. Just ban him. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, they're
It's
not going
insane.
to have me on because I would start asking questions like that and find out.
Right.
So how bad would God have to be before you would wake up to the fact that maybe that's not God? Because according to his line of thinking, you're not allowed to judge God. That's insane. So, I mean, the God of the Bible could just be chopping people's heads off and hitting people with hammers and throwing rocks at children. And we can't judge that God. We just have to worship him. I mean, it's the dumbest premise of all time.
And you can't read that and decide for yourself whether or not that's God or not.
That's
So,
would be
you're
the
not
whole
allowed
point.
to, bro.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Yep. So again, I mean, that's why you just have to be done with it because again, if people want, and then I was listening to the beginning of his show the other day. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I heard him say that I'm a Reddit level atheist or something like that. And I mean, this is coming from people that are basically piggybacking off the theology of 2,500-year-old desert wandering Jews. And
allegedly.
And again, I mean, I don't even think Moses existed. I mean, if you really get down to it, there's no evidence of that. The Egyptians didn't write about him. His story is one that was definitely stolen from before. A baby drifting in a basket, picked up by a king's wife, and the whole thing has already been said. It just doesn't seem like, and he's not even mentioned much in the Bible the rest of the way, where he should be mentioned constantly.
It sounds familiar to modern day science, where there's characters of history science where the person, there's no history that the person actually existed, just books of people writing about this individual.
I saw
parallel.
Galileo's one sheet note about the moons of Jupiter was found to be fake.
Nice.
Just the other day. I forgot if that I was going to do a video on it, but I forgot. Anyway, I got to let you go because I'm talking.
Yeah,
to you
last little bit. He also talks shit about the ism at the end of your name. So
I know he doesn't
evidently
get it.
Doesn't know why you put the ism at the end. He thinks it's a religion.
Yep.
He also said he wants to protect people from you. It's his job to do, etc. So, okay. Lastly, can you post that Hubble link from that paper in the chat or in your t.me links, please?
It's in the t.me / Jeranism links. I think. Let me make sure.
Okay, perfect.
You mean
and then I will, if you look for it, I'm going to post that phys.org link right here in the chat.
Okay, I'll put it in there. Did I put it in here? Where would it be? Which one is that?
Oh, here.
I found it.
Actually,
the Hubble paper is up there. It's the first thing posted on September 1st. All right, and then
perfect.
You put it in the chat already?
I'm doing that right now, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, paste, share. So check that out, man. It's interesting.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to put that in the links as well in case anybody wants that. I'll check it out.
Right on.
All right, thanks. Appreciate the call. Later.
Bye, brother.
All right, let's go with John C., the alien being. What's up?
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Good, yourself?
I'm doing well. I want to thank you for creating a platform for people to come together, have some different thoughts, different opinions, different studies, come together and get some clarity as what's going on here in this world today.
Exactly. Yep. That's why I did it, and it's something I wish that somebody would have done for me 5 years ago.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. So I want to throw out a golden nugget.
Okay.
What we got here, from what I can see, I did some extensive research in terms of the digitation of fiat currencies globally.
Okay, 1 second. I just want to tell everybody. So nobody else join the link because we're going to go to Rokfin right after Lowry, who's next. So if you join after Lowry, you're not going to get on the show. Wait till we get back from break, and then we'll be over at Rokfin, and you can call in, and I'll give the number when we get back. Go ahead, John.
Sure. So the digitation of fiat currency into a digital, format, and what that's going to entail.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are actually copying, modeling the China model,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to start seeing this integration here by November 29th of 2025. We're going to see a full integration, and it starts stemming from the actual basis of what countries utilize to transfer money from one country to another,
Mm-hmm.
and that's called SWIFT. Once SWIFT goes digital, then everything else goes digital, and this is globally because we're in a globally connected economy.
Right.
And we're seeing some amazing things. This is going to be a forced move because this fall, believe it or not, looking at the agricultural production of only 27% at the time of seeding, coming to fall, what we plant in spring is what we eat in fall, and we're looking at about a 13 to 15% growth crop to maturity. So we're going to see a large degradation of availability of foods and goods and services actually available here and globally. But this is all going to be forcing the hand for the digitized economy. So I just wanted to share some information real quick on that and give some insights on what we can do to prepare for that. One thing we can do is grow our own food to the extent that we can. If we are meat eaters or anything like that, get chickens, eat eggs, get that stuff cycled right through the process as soon as possible. You can get chicks at a very nominal fee, and you can start doing this even if you're a renter or anything else like that. If you own land, you can do it there, but start producing your own consumption because there's going to come a time very quickly which everything's going to have a digitized or tokenized identification to it so that no one may buy, sell, or trade through that process because everything's digitized. And this is the future that we're coming. So preparation is of the essence, and I want to thank you again for creating a platform for people to come together to express ideas and concerns and potential solutions, brother.
Thanks, man. I'm glad that you're up to date with that and know what's going on. And because I think a lot of people are confused still. They think, the government created cryptocurrency and they're going to make a coin. It's like, okay, but remember that there's a huge difference between the central bank digital currency and cryptocurrency, right? And the fact that cryptocurrency is invented by Satoshi or whatever group did, and they said this is a person-to-person exchange of value without the need of a third party. So that's what's important, is that right now with Monero, with Pirate Chain, with any of these coins, we're able to transfer them person to person anywhere in the world without the need of a third party. So when the United States government comes along and says, we now have a digital currency, yes, but you are a third party. So that ends it. I mean, it should be, but again, like you said, it's going to be forced on people. They're not going to have a choice. And then that's going to make crypto look bad, probably crash the crypto market because people don't understand, which should be simple. Keep your crypto coins and stay away from the digital currency.
Well, that's very true, brother. And, also keep in mind, just like an email, it's a digitization of communication. So it is also with blockchain technology.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what platform we use, whether it be Monero, which is a privatized scenario, or Bitcoin or Ethereum or XRP or whatever, it's all going to be able to be tracked. And this is the point. So once they actually are able to do that, which they have been now, and they fully integrate the digitization of fiat currency, everything that we do is going to be, tracked. And then it goes to like somewhat of an underground aspect for a very short period of time because they're going to tokenize everything that's a physical asset in existence to a digital ID. And this is where we are not able to trade because everything that we own would be considered a digitized or a tokenized asset. And so if we trade something and then we get audited, then we're going to see that deduction, and there's the issue. So, I'm fearful for that, but I'm also trying to do what I can, and I'm hoping other people can do what they can within their means to be able to prepare for the very near future coming. It's a tough time, but I think right now we have enough time to prepare and gather together in a group, because strength is more powerful in numbers.
All right. Well, thanks. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Later. All right. And we've got last but never least, Lowry. Lowry, what did I see you doing the other day? You were dressed up as something. What was I looking at?
I don't know. I want to settle a debate. Are you broadcasting from your bathroom?
I am not. Why? Because I have my pants off, you mean?
I'm just thinking it would be kind of cool if you were actually.
That'd be a weird bathroom, wouldn't it? With this backdrop?
Well, if you didn't have a house big enough to have an extra studio, the bathroom would be like where you would actually broadcast from.
It is the office space here, yes. Not the bathroom. Bathroom's over there. So
yeah,
not in this room. But thank you.
I just got off of the Karen and Ted's big jet fuel hoax thing. That was fun.
How'd that go?
It was good. It's like we still came down to the same thing. It's like no one was ever arguing that there was never fuel being introduced. There's never any of that. And I think a lot of people are just talking out their ass about the whole thing. But it is a very fuel efficient jet engine, and it's putting out more energy than's going into it once it gets to a cruise level. They're burning potential energy as it launches, and they're burning it in other spots when they're driving around the runway. And there's some fucking there's some energy systems there that unless you're an engineer you don't understand. But it's not some secret stuff.
It's not like there's no fuel in there.
Yeah, it's just like, well, what you get was the big difference in the whole thing was like you have these memes where you have trucks on wings. Well, no, it wouldn't actually be the trucks. It would be, the actual carrying part of the fuel on the trucks, which is smaller than the actual truck, which you put on the wing. And then we were also looking at it was like they made these trucks look a lot bigger than they actually were relative to the plane. So it's misleading to a lot of people. Yeah, there's not that much fuel on those jets, but it's also a really fuel efficient engine, and so that's kind of what we
Rolls Royce.
Yeah, it's like one of the best. It's like the best engine that we know so far, unless we find this, elusive free energy thing. Anyway, how are you, brother, man? I just like
Fantastic.
Sometimes I just want to see how you're doing.
Fantastic. What do you mean? I don't have any issues. My life is good. I have no complaints.
Why is it when I'm looking at like the screen, I only see two of me? I don't even see you. I have no idea who.
I'm in the little box.
You're not on a little box on my thing. I can switch over to YouTube and see.
No. If there's two,
oh, I see. So on the StreamYard, it's just two of me.
Well, and I'm in the little box in the second one of you.
Really? Oh, right.
There you go.
Okay. I
see. I care very little about you guys. I care more about the audience. So I'm doing it for their sake, not for yours. Sorry about that.
Okay. No, I don't have anything heavy tonight. I just wanted to say hi.
That's it. All right. Well, that's good. Well, you still got 51
seconds. You going over to
yeah, we're gonna go to Rokfin.
What are we gonna talk about? What's gonna happen over there?
Take phone calls, kind of continue the same thing, and take phone calls instead of these. And I'm gonna be high, so that's that's about the only thing. I'm gonna play a little music and go head out to the garage for a second, and then we'll come back and have some fun over there. So right, thanks for calling in again.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Later. All right, that was Lowry. Let's get this off the screen real quick. I just wanted to bring up this one thing because I mentioned it, and let's bring this over just to show you. I don't know if enough people heard about this news story. It's one that they would probably try and sweep under the rug a little bit. So this is it here. We've got and this is just from the other day, I think. August 23rd, so about a week ago. We've got treasured Galileo manuscript is a forgery. University of Michigan says detective work by an academic revealed supposed letter and notes by astronomer of 1610 were the work of a 20th century Italian forger. Now, again, why are people forging the works of Galileo? And when you find out that these things have been passed for this long and weren't determined to be fakes, then you can start to realize where there's probably a ton of older stuff. I don't think you can turn off the music. Just listen up. For nearly a century, the University of Michigan Library kept what they understood to be a manuscript written by Galileo Galilei, but now, after an internal investigation, the school believes that the document was a fake. The university announced on Tuesday that the so-called Galileo manuscript, which is a one-page document that includes a letter of accompanying the astronomer's presentation of his telescope, and his supposed notes observing the moons of Jupiter through his telescope in 1610 was crafted by Tobia Nicotra, a well-known forger from Italy who was fined and sentenced to 2 years in jail for crafting fake Galileo documents in 1934. He also infamously produced fake autographs of Christopher Columbus and Mozart. The possibility came to light in May when the Georgia State University professor expressed serious doubts about its authenticity. He found while researching Nicotra, who had a forgery factory in his Milan apartment, that the counterfeiter had reportedly started selling fake letters and musical manuscripts to support 7 mistresses. After our own experts studied the most compelling evidence about the paper and provenance and re-examined the manuscript, we agreed to the conclusion. So again, I mean, it's just funny because if you go to Galileo's Wikipedia, I mean, that year 1610, here you go. You know, he published his initial telescope astronomical observations in March 1610 in a brief treatise entitled Sidereus Nuncius, which, by the way, is another, if you pull this, Sidereus Nuncius, the same guy that determined this is a fake. I don't know his name, but he also, wait, what's more, the university said it found, see, what's more, the university said it found no trace of the document. Look at this. What's more, the university said it found no trace of the document before 1930. But all the stuff is ancient, you know, oh, come on, all the science, the greats of science. Liars. So if we put in here and fake, speaking of that book, that same guy found, yeah, there you go. The particular copy of Sidereus Nuncius was exposed as a fake. But De Caro has admitted that he created other counterfeit copies. These forgeries may currently be circulating through unknown channels in the criminal underworld. So again, we've got, here we go, forgery, Galileo's 400-year Sidereus Nuncius. Again, forgery, secrets. I mean, it's just miserable what's going on here. And science, I mean, why would they fake anything? Come on. Wouldn't they study it and know right away? No. They just pass it along because it fits perfectly with what they want. So I'm going to go back here real quick. Just see where we forgot this. I thought that they would talk about it in here because it's the same guy. The same guy is finding all these fakes. Maybe it's here. The university said the auction firm American Art sold the library of Roderick Terry, a wealthy collector, in 1934, which contained the manuscript. It had been authenticated by Cardinal Pietro Maffi. There you go. Go to the Cardinals. Go to the Catholics for authentication. Who compared this leaf with a Galileo autograph letter in his collection. Then a prominent Detroit businessman and philanthropist, Tracy McGregor, obtained the letter and his trustees gave it to the university at his death, 1938. More than 80 years later, Wilding alerted the university curator about the manuscript's watermark and provenance. The watermark on the paper featured the letters BMO for Bergamo, where the paper was supposedly produced, but the university found that no other BMO watermark papers had been dated before 1770, roughly 160 years after the notes featured in the supposed Galileo manuscript. Further, another forgery held in the Morgan Library and Museum in New York City has a similar paper that has been securely dated to 1790, the university found. So again, this is just sad. And, you know, the same thing is true for, it's not just science that does it, religion does it as well. So if you go to the Dead Sea Scrolls, which many people like to call into question or call on to for evidence, just type in Dead Sea Scrolls fake, and you'll see that, here we go. This is recent too. About 2 years ago, they figured out that all of the museum, the one in Washington, D.C., has 16 different Dead Sea Scrolls. They're all fake. Okay. So the way they were able to determine that is there's ink that leaks into the side of these papers, which is impossible. If the person actually wrote on this paper and then it ripped in some sort of post-accident, you would not have ink that leaks onto the edges, because that can only happen if you did it on purpose, meaning that they had these broken fragments and then they wrote on it to fake it. So it talks about the Hobby Lobby president President Steve Green began acquiring a collection of 16 Dead Sea Scrolls for his Museum of the Bible. The sad thing is how much this guy paid. I think he paid like multiple millions. The museum opened in 2017. Not long after, doubts began to swirl about the authenticity of its Dead Sea Scrolls. 5 were confirmed to be fake, and now reports Michael Greshko, the National Geographic, a study commissioned by the museum, has reached an even more damning conclusion. None of the textual fragments in the Museum of the Bible's Dead Sea Scroll collection are authentic. Womp, 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 womp. Pretty sad. Says the report does not cast doubt on the authenticity of the Dead Sea Scrolls held by the Israel Museum, but somebody should probably check them. Just saying. check them because here's the thing: you can't date books. So the easiest thing in the world to fake is a book. You just need to get the same kind of paper, whatever they used, papyrus. We can still make papyrus today. It's not like NASA. Oh, we destroyed that technology and it's a painful practice to bring it back. No, it's not. You can make papyrus. You can make paper. You can make rocks. Anything that they used to write back then, you can make today. You can find the same kind of ink that they used. You can jot it down on the paper in the same writing style, grind it up in some dirt, put it in a bottle, bury it. And when somebody finds it, they're going to date it to the date of the same paper, same writing style, and same ink. That's it. That's all they have. Okay. So we're going to head over to, what is it called? Rokfin. If you would be so great to join us, that'd be fantastic. It's free if you're watching live. And I was going to bring up my little Rokfin thing. Where is it? This one? No. Where is Rokfin? Weird. Where is... Well, we'll just go through that one. First, we got Linktree. linktr.ee/Jeranism has all my links there. We've also got Patreon if you want to get in on the crypto team. I'm not taking any calls, whoever's on that line. And we've got Cash App if you want to support me that way. You can do $Jeranism Cash App. There you go. So I wanted to show you one other thing before I forget. We're going to kill this later. We're going to bring this up real quick. Just want to show you, it's kind of ready, not really. I mean, it's still taking some time, but I do have a shop coming, which is going to be shop.jeranism.com. And let's see, we'll bring it over here. So it'll be populated soon, but it's starting to look pretty nice. You've got the various items here as far as consultations, streaming consultations. I'm going to have my entire collection of ebook is going to be on a 64 gigabyte 3.0 drive, which is over 4,000 books. I'm right now organizing them and putting them into genre categories. There's also going to be every video I've done. So it's over 500 videos in a Jeranism 64 gigabyte USB 3.0 drive. A deal down here. I can't scroll anymore, but you get them both. But anyway, there's this is coming soon, and it does work now, but there's still more items to go there, some more consultations, but it's a really nice store. It runs really great, and you can, you get deals for the more hours you purchase. So you'll see the price actually keeps going up. It should be going down. I guess I didn't fix that one. Should be a deal. Let's see if the other one has it. So let's go like this one. Should be a deal when you get two. I wonder why the deals aren't on there. I'll fix that. Anyway, it's coming along pretty great. I didn't even mention this. Here's the great thing. When you go to buy, so let's say you're doing this, look at all the options. You've got cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, Nano, Monero, Solana, Ripple, Kronos, Binance Coin, USDC, USDT. You can pay with any of that. You can pay with Binance Pay. So any of the Binance coins. You can pay with credit or debit cards. You can pay with banking, regional methods. You can pay with Cash App. You can pay with Skrill. So it's pretty awesome that there's all those different possibilities. Just go cryptocurrency, pick your coin. Let's say you want to send me Monero. Boom, pick your coin. And Monero. Then you go continue. And then you basically put in your email notes. If you have notes for me, hit pay, and it will give you a barcode. And you pay the barcode. Simple. And so that'll all be there. That is at shop.jeranism.com. Coming soon to a world near you. Let's get back over here. All right, guys, it's been fun. We'll see you at Rokfin. Rokfin, stay there. YouTube, I'm going to put the link in the description. I'm going to play 2 songs. I'm going to go have myself a little baby Jeter, and we'll be back and take your phone calls for the second half of Speaker's Corner. All right, here's your outro. See you soon. Thank you, YouTube. It's been fun. Thank you for all the super chats, and see you guys over at Rokfin. It's free. Remember, it's free until after the show's over, and then it goes under the paywall. I remind you, please do your own research when you do. You'll never again believe all the bullshit you've been taught. Till next time, YouTube. Peace. All right, and I wanted to say something real quick. I had a good week. I don't know if you guys saw that for the first time in a long